changing the zoning of lot 6, block C, Veneto Acres subdivision, 11176 Berlette Street, from R1 single family residential to R2 medium density residential. The planning and zoning commission recommends approval with the condition of not to build more than 2 dwellings on the property. Do we need a presentation or can we go ahead? All right. Let's go ahead and call for the public hearing. It is 7:46. Anyone to speak on this item? All right, no one to speak on this item. The hearing closed at 7:46. Going on to item number 20. Public hearing. I apologize. I'm not, yes. I don't have my brown coat glasses on usually. I have some glasses and so I can't read. It's okay. No, no, that's okay. I appreciate it. Thank you for the offer. All right, item number 19, second reading, adoption of ordinance 339, an ordinance changing the zoning of lot 6, block C, Veneto Acres subdivision 11176 Berlette Street, from R1 single family residential to R2 medium density residential. The planning and zoning commission recommends approval with the condition of not to build more than 2 dwellings on the property. Do I have a motion? Second. Motion made by Mr. Rodriguez, second by Mr. Rodriguez.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Aye.
Mr. Bowling?
Aye.
Mr. Fox? Aye, Ms. Rodriguez. Motion passes.
All right, thank you. Item number 20, public hearing on ordinance 341, an ordinance of changing the zoning of tracts to A1 to A3 and a portion of tract 2A, block 28, Socorro Grant, no address available, from R1 single family residential to R2 medium density residential. The planning and zoning commission recommends approval. I'll go ahead and open the public hearing at 7:48. Any person wishing to comment on number 20? All right, public hearing closed at 7:48. Let's go ahead to item 21. Second reading and adoption of ordinance 341, an ordinance of changing the zoning of tracts 2A1 to A3 and a portion of tract 2A, block 28, Socorro Grant, from R1 single family residential to R2 medium density residential. The planning and zoning commission recommends approval.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion made by Mr. Rodriguez, second by Ms. Rodriguez.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Aye.
Mr. Bowling?
Aye.
Mr. Fox?
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Rodriguez. Yes. Motion passes.
Thank you. Item number 22, we have a presentation by Mr. Rodriguez Parker regarding support rehabilitation and healthcare project. Mr. Murphy is sponsor of this.
Yes, Mr. Parker is here to give you a presentation.
Thank you. Presiding officer, members of the council, thanks for hearing me tonight. As you know from some prior hearings, we're proposing to build a nursing and rehabilitation center on Alameda and with the back entrance on Moon Road. At some of the earlier meetings, there was some concern and protest, but concern about the traffic that we created off Moon Road. We are preferring to have the main entrance on Alameda. For that matter, the ultimate operator of the project has required that in order to locate on this property in the city of Socorro, is that he have access off of Alameda. In evaluating this property versus other properties available to us, obviously we have to get a crossing over the Franklin Canal, which is owned by the El Paso County Irrigation Water District number 1. We are requesting that the city assist us with the cost of that crossing. Just to briefly provide you a little information on the economic impact of our project to the city of Socorro. This project will add over $4 million to your tax base, which in just a little over 2 years will more than repay the request for this grant. But more importantly, in addition to the tax base, we will be adding payroll of between $2 and $3 million once this project is stabilized, and probably closer to $3 million. Obviously, all those people will not live in the city of Socorro, but many of them will. They will shop here, they will buy here, they will buy homes here. It's projected by many economists that a payroll has a 2.5 to 3 times economic impact on the community, and with a $2 to $3 billion payroll, that means your economic impact is $5 to $6 million a year. When you take into consideration the increase in sales tax, the homes that will be bought, the corresponding increase in your tax base from all those items, and we are requesting a $50,000 assistance. The cost of the crossing is going to be between $90,000 and $100,000 for the total cost of the crossing, and we're basically asking the city to assist with the payment of 50% of that amount, or $50,000. And I'll be glad to answer any questions that you might have.
I have a legal question for Jim, but can we do it in executive?
You can if you choose to, yes.
And then I would like to make the motion to move this agenda item to executive.
Second.
No, when we get to executive.
Okay, so then,
Second.
do we have other stuff?
Are you talking about item number 22 or number 20?
Number 23. Oh, I'm sorry, was that there yet? Okay, sorry.
Okay, so then, are you going to?
Yeah, I can make 22 and 23.
Okay, we go into executive session.
You want to take it up 22, you can take both into executive session. I think the one you would actually probably want to take into executive session is 23.
Yeah, that's what I wanted, I thought, because he was asking for, in the presentation, I thought we were talking about 23.
So then, you all wait to, I don't know, or want to
Just take, do we have anything else in executive?
Yes.
Yes? We'll just wait, roll up to that.
So then, we're still on number 22, does that increase your presentation? sir?
Yes, and we've had any questions you have.
I think we'll have, yes,
Can I ask, before we do that, can I ask a couple of questions? Okay, yes.
yes, sir.
Mr. Parker, you said the projected cost of the crossing was $90,000 to $100,000. Is it construction cost or the license or permit fee paid to the water utility district?
Both.
Are you actually having to improve the physical structure?
But what?
Are you rehabilitating or building a physical structure?
We're building a new one.
Is there one there now?
No.
So again, you bridge, correct? Again,
Bridge, culvert, whatever you want to call it, it's really not a bridge.
Not a bridge.
It's large box culverts. It's not what I would call a bridge. But it is a structure,
Vehicle traffic or pedestrian
vehicle,
open to the public?
open to the public to go to that project.
In other words, if you cross over it, you're on your development's property.
Correct.
Okay.
all right, so thank you, we're all together. Thank you.
If I may ask, before I leave, will I be part of that executive meeting? Or executive discussion in the council, what we call it?
I suspect
Executive
that
session.
at this point not,
No,
and if we have any questions.
but we'll
We
come
might
out,
have some
we
questions.
will come out
for you
and
after we come
say
out.
what.
Okay,
Oh, we gave legal advice? No, it's just lawyers and city manager.
okay,
They'll come out and announce any action in public and have questions for you after that.
okay, so I need to state that's really my question. Okay,
Yes.
that's fine. All right.
Yes, thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you.
All right, so we go on to item, no, we've already heard 22, that's the presentation, we go to item 23, and that's what.
And then that's where I make a
Okay,
motion.
I have a question. What happened to our motion that you made for an executive?
Okay.
Yeah, we put 22 and 23.
No, there's no motion action for number 22, it's just a presentation.
So then,
So the motion was not valid.
Not valid?
so let's go ahead and make a motion.
So then I make a motion to move item number 23 to executive session.
Second.
Could you read it into the record, please?
All right, item number 23, discussion and action regarding Socorro Health Realty LLC, request for grant assistance of $50,000 for a bridge over the canal between Alameda and City of Socorro's property. Mr. Rodriguez made a motion to take this item to executive. It was seconded by Ms. Rodriguez.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Aye.
Mr. Foley?
Aye.
Mr. Cox? And Ms. Rodriguez? Yes, motion passes.
We want to wait.
And I'll wait till we get this.
All right, let's go ahead and go to item number 24, discussing an action on amending job descriptions of salaries for municipal court clerk
We,
and court clerk.
we're doing 15 as well.
Okay, let's go ahead and bring item 15. Next, the remaining. 15 also is introduction and first reading and calling for a public hearing on ordinance 295, amendment number 7, an ordinance of the city of Socorro amending the organizational chart for the city of Socorro. Sure. Yes.
For Jim.
Yes, Mr. Martinez.
So we can talk about 15 and 24, correct?
Yes, sir, you move 15 down to this location.
So we're gonna talk about.
Good evening.
It's good to see.
It works. Okay, pretty much what occurred was in November, we did a pilot program for our court. For our municipal courts, what happened was when Vidales was here, pretty much the job descriptions were changed, but never documented. So there's a big confusion to who's the court coordinator, who's the court clerk. Pretty much I went back to the government code and our organization back in the past. So I want to go back to the municipal court clerk, which would be our department head, a court clerk, and our juvenile case manager.
So we have three.
Correct.
So then, court clerk,
The municipal court clerk,
municipal,
correct, that would be our department head.
and the court clerk.
The court clerk, which would be our cashier up at the front, which would assist. And then we have our juvenile case manager. When we did this pilot program, pretty much what we were trying to avoid is to hire that one huge salary to see if we could deal with just the court clerk up front, the cashier, as opposed to the other position that is at a higher rate. And the court did great, and pretty much that's why we're coming in and creating the court clerk position at a $25,000 as opposed to a $38,000 a year. Because that would only be your cashier. Your municipal court clerk would go because she would be your department head to the $47,008.
And we can sustain that from the chairs.
In fact, that was the structure we just had. In fact, this package is less than the structure that we had before.
Correct, the structure that we had before was, our municipal judge was getting $74,000. The court clerk was getting $47,000, court coordinator $38,000, and our juvenile case $32,000. So we're removing the $38,000 and making it $25,000 a year. And your municipal judge is now only $40,000 and has no benefits. So we don't have any fixed benefits on that position.
All right, so any comments or questions from council?
The juvenile case manager. So that makes three, right?
Now, it's three but all of them are at a lower rate than the previous one.
Correct, only the municipal court clerk, which is Isela, which has been running her courts, is doing an awesome job. We're moving her up to the 47. She's currently at 38.
Who's that court clerk?
Municipal court clerk
Who's that?
is Rosicela Gonzalez.
Okay.
The court clerk, we don't have, it's a vacant position right now. It was what we were doing the pilot program, the cashier up front, that assists the municipal clerk and the dockets.
And there's for my own benefit, there's no implications of impropriety as far as moving her up, as far as making it public, as far as opening the vacancy, or anything like that.
Well, we would have to open up the court clerk position at
But
25,000. The municipal court clerk, I think we could,
We're going to have that as a promotion.
as a promotional, and our city ordinance 186 says we can go ahead and do that if. But one of the reasons also that we're putting this, I have to change the job description to remove the requirement of the
higher rate salary, I think that we should kick it back, restructure the, and take a look at that because, you know, she doesn't have a degree, so how are we gonna?
The degree still in there, you just pay, you just.
Correct, we're either saying degree or years of service, equivalent of the years of service issue.
See, because that's my only concern, is the fact that we are, I guess for lack of a better word, and the perception of it, that we're customizing it for. And so that to me is kind of like a slippery slope, because then there's a transparency issue that we're customizing, tailoring this position for the benefit of one person and actually giving her promotion. And so we're not making that promotion, that position competitive to someone, and I understand the years of service with or instead of the degree, but that's to me, I don't feel very comfortable. I really don't. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I know what you're saying, and I understand everything because I did the same thing, but we've already done that with one position in the police department. The council approved for one position to not have a degree. The lieutenant position was,
It was open, it was open,
And then she.
but it was open,
And then she.
and the chief of police, but we opened them to the
What
public.
we need to do is open it up and see both sides
No, no,
and get the most qualified individual.
what he's trying to say is, if we're just gonna do it and give it to him, that's not what we did. What we did is, we accommodated so that we can open the pool of candidates. Okay?
no, that's what I'm saying, I'm not saying.
No, so when
I said the position of lieutenant.
Yes, so, but we opened it up to more candidates. So
Because at the
we're
time, I
gonna
didn't
do the
even
same
know
thing.
who they were gonna.
No, but in this case, what my point is that we have a person in the position, and so we're upping the salary, and yet I mean it's the council's pleasure either to accept the years of service in lieu of the degree, and so that's where I have a little bit of, if it had been a vacant position, then that would have been something we could have discussed. But at this point, it seems that we're tailoring the position for it.
I would have to study this a little bit more, a little more.
You wanna give it to the next meeting?
Yeah, I think we need to take a look at it.
Yeah, you know what, she's been doing a wonderful job.
No, and that's that where I'm not, it's not personal. My question, my concern is the transparency issue of tailoring something with and not having or creating a pool of people that maybe.
Let's look at this whole thing, yeah.
Yes,
Take
so-
a look at it.
So, okay, at this point, by number 15, can we go ahead and do a motion to
But
take?
they
Well, actually, both of them are tied together, so
They're both-
we can,
Wait a minute, the other one, the court clerk, does she have a degree?
No, but we're demoting, we're removing, the salaries being changed to 25,000.
Okay,
So it's pretty much you're only needing a cashier type of clerk answering phones. So, and that didn't require it required an associate's degree before.
And the juvenile case manager?
That one does require a degree, but that position is not vacant. Someone's already in that position.
See, and say that's for somebody to come back and say, how come you changed the other position to accept years of service in lieu of a degree, and yet you're keeping a degree requirement?
And that's just because we did the pilot program to see if Isela would be able to run the court. Since there had been a position where we removed a person from that court and we were going through some issues
some
with that.
budgets.
So pretty much she proved that, she did take the court. There's been a lot of implementation into the court system, which now we're going electronic. We got caught up with all of that. So pretty much she's already conducting it, but we're not.
She doesn't have the time.
Right, no,
Correct. She's acting and doing it. However,
All right, so then informally, I guess what we're asking is to maybe take it back and reformulate the requirement
okay.
to where it would have, and we've done this before, that the person be in the process of, maybe, and that gives her an incentive to go back to college if she, in terms of
Okay.
bettering our
Continue.
staff,
Okay.
exactly.
Yes.
So I think that's something that can be taken back into consideration, and then we have to use.
And the juvenile case manager, does she have a degree?
Yes.
So why don't we just, and you're trying to, give her a little bit more money?
The juvenile case manager would remain the same.
With a degree?
She's already getting paid at that counter. I mean, that position, when she
Remember
applied for
before-
it, it required a degree.
2 years ago, that department got 111.2% raise. You would have filed bankruptcy if you did that in a business. I mean, they already over exceeded their 3% a year. So my motion is to kick back,
Postpone?
postpone.
Mr. Martinez, just for my own clarification, we're talking about two separate agenda items. Do we have to vote on, since we've combined the conversation on them, but do we have to vote separately?
You do not, you can, but you don't have to.
Because we put them together.
Okay,
So we will,
One can go without the other.
yes. So I'll make a motion to postpone so that they can rewrite 15 to 24 and bring it back
next regular meeting.
Would you like her?
Is that enough time or do you need an extra?
No, that's fine. I think, we were gonna wait till budget time. However, I do know there's a sense of urgency because of that vacant position right now. They are working just on 2.
So that's
They are
enough.
missing 1 son.
Okay, so then we have a second, by Mr. A motion made by Mr. Rodriguez to, table, postpone, items 15 and 24 until the next regular meeting. May I have a second by Mr. Bowman? Yes? Okay.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Aye.
Mr. Baldwin?
Aye.
Mr. Cox?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Rodriguez? Motion passes.
And then the next one. Okay, so then we've gone to number 25, discussion and action on chief of police reasonable necessary expense of moving to Socorro and specifics of hiring agreement.
This one was in our last meeting, and we were given instructions to come up with an agreement to provide to the chief of police. So you do have a copy?
Yes.
So I just needed to review it and see if we can approve. Pretty much all your, is going to receive benefits just like your regular employee. We did put the moving package up to 3,500 and the vehicle usage.
Again, in the last meeting, we talked about him moving to Socorro, either in Socorro or, that's one of the stipulations that he, or from no further than Yarborough, which I can't remember what the Yarborough, my marker is this way.
And our attorney had stated that we can't really put a stipulation of that much more. The last time,
No.
that I mean, we can't really make him.
Did we make that a condition for Mr. Murphy?
Yeah,
And the code, ordinance dictated a living community.
Okay, back to.
By municipal.
yeah, I don't think I don't remember giving that advice, if I did, somebody tell me.
Just to catch you up, one of the stipulations where we were looking at some of these issues on what to give him in his contract. Gloria said she wanted him to live in Socorro. I said if he moved into the city, I don't want him to move to the west side.
Right.
Because that's when we talk about fuel consumption and stuff like
I
that.
remember
And we
that.
said, no further than, we like him to live, if he's gonna live in the city of El Paso, no further than Yarborough, and then on this way.
Yeah, and I remember all that, but all I'm saying is, I don't remember saying that it's not an enforceable provision, I actually think it is. And for a higher level management position, particularly city manager, it's not uncommon at all. It's not in the proposed contract, well, let me say this, I don't think, be careful, I don't think council gave direction to include or not include that last time. Council deliberated in executive session to make a decision, I think council, the formal action was, look, let the city manager and administration work out the proposed contract and bring back to council can see it. or amend as they think appropriate.
That's all I'm saying.
If council wishes to include a provision like that, I think, I don't think, I can't think of any legal impediment to it, and in terms of a practical, particularly for a public safety official, I think it makes sense to say you have to be within, we want you generally to reside within X number of minutes or X number of miles of the city limits in the event of emergency, something like that.
All right.
Well, you already said, but Mr. Cox, this was partially correct. We did discuss all that, but at the end, we left it to Mr. Norton.
Right.
So-
That I do recall.
Yeah, we, you probably tell them what we wish, all of us, that
We'll go
we
back
leave it
for
up to
20
him.
minutes then. We'll put a 20-minute provision in.
20 minutes farther than El Paso, further
To
than
get here,
downtown.
20 minutes.
Oh, they live within 20
Yeah.
minute distance.
Right.
Okay.
It's includes all the way to downtown, you make 15 minutes to downtown.
Depends on the traffic.
No, it depends on the
That
traffic.
depends on, what is it?
Well, if you want,
20 minutes. Let's hope that, I mean, if that's the case.
hopefully he'll decide to stay here.
Okay, so it seems to be the council's okay with adding 20 minutes to a meeting.
20 minutes.
All right.
You know,
Respectfully, I would respectfully express that in a distance, not a time.
A distance.
Yeah, minutes is walking, running by helicopter,
Right.
bus.
25 minutes, no?
I don't have an opinion on what the
All right,
right
so
is.
here,
It's
so
the same
here
thing.
is,
It's no longer than 10 miles.
10 miles from
We're at the 30 mile mark right here. This is 30 mile mark, right? Right.
all the way.
Okay.
Make it 5 miles away.
that's pretty good to the city.
And so you're
It
looking
is.
at, what is your road? Sergeant, what is your road?
I believe that's milepost 27, 28.
I believe you're right.
so how many miles from here to here?
That's 12, 13 miles.
Must be.
If you use a 38 mile marker to the 25th.
Yeah.
So,
So do you want to make it a 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
you want in the city? You want in the
7 miles then.
That's what I just told you.
Okay, well, we need to come to a consensus.
That was the one.
All right. I think that 7 is just right there. I mean,
I think 10 is probably.
I think 10 is I would suggest that the
When you were
numbers.
talking
You know
to
what,
me,
if
what did
we're
you
gonna
say?
be discussing that, then why don't we just
Okay.
say
It's not
minutes
just
ago?
intent to be away anyway. That's not our intent.
Oh, okay.
So, we'll make it 10 miles.
All right.
10
We
miles.
need to find.
No further than 10 miles, and I think that'll cover it.
Yeah.
All right.
But we prefer, just to say there, just to get in there, we prefer if you live a little too far.
All right, Mr. Bowling?
Yes.
I have a question. Would the chief have a problem living in Socorro, in the city of Socorro?
No, that was one of his questions when we talked a little bit, he asked, am I gonna be required to live in Socorro?
He
I
wants to
said
live in
those are the
Socorro.
things that we need to discuss, which the last time, I mean, we agreed not to put a, I mean, I did express we don't want you to live on the west side, and he's like, no, I would, I wouldn't do that, because he knows he needs to be close to the city, so I know his conscience about being close to the city.
All right, so then, I would entertain a motion for agenda number 25 to take back the draft of the agreement to include.
That's in my,
Okay. Can I do a motion for item number 25?
So move.
Second.
Mr. Mayor, are you intending this to come back the second time after this? Or are you approving it with the?
No, we're just proving it.
I don't get for clarification, let's go ahead and approve it with the addition of.
And put an emphasis on.
I will change my motion.
All right,
So move.
Second.
all right, let's go ahead and take vote.
Did you get it? You'll change
Wait,
it?
the period for the 10 miles. Who made the first motion?
Mr. Cox, second by Mr. Rodriguez.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Aye.
Mr. Bowling? Mr. Cox? I Mr. Lee.
Yes, but I want
thank you.
All right, going into the planning and zoning department section, item 26, discussion and action on proposed dedication of land agreement to acquire the necessary right-of-way for San Miguel Road, being a portion of tract 8A, block 22, for grant. The planning and zoning department recommends approval. Mr. Dion.
Yes, Mayor, Council. The planning and zoning department was approached by the owner of the street, which also includes a property at the corner of San Miguel Road and Socorro Road.
The Adobe building, children?
The department?
Is the Adobe building?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And there's no cost associated with this transaction, and the intention is to acquire the necessary right-of-way to make San Miguel Street public.
Yes, that's in my area, and what happened is that Mr. Peña was the owner of that portion, that property, yes, Mr. Peña, he saw that we were paving people road. And so, and Mr. Bill also made a very keen observation that it is one of the worst streets in Socorro. Unfortunately, it's privately owned, so this is the steps to go ahead and get.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
All right.
That's good. That's done.
I followed it all. So we have a motion made by Mr. Rodriguez, second by Mr. Rodriguez.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Aye.
Mr. Bowling?
Aye.
Mr. Cox?
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Rodriguez? Yes. Motion passes.
All right, thank you.
Expired, the vote also. Discussion and action on proposed boundary survey to formalize Nancy Road as a public road owned by the city of Socorro, being a portion of tracks 5, 5J1, and 5N. Lee Clark Survey 293, the planning and zoning department recommends approval. Motion made, second by Mr. Rodriguez, second by Mr. Cox. To approve.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Aye.
Mr. Bowling?
Aye.
Mr. Cox?
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Rodriguez? Yes. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Number 28, discussion and action on proposed certificate of appropriateness for the proposed landscaping project for the Commission of Socorro Mission located at 328 South Gonzales Road. The Historical Landmark Commission recommends approval.
Motion to approve.
Second. All right.
Motion made by Ms. Rodriguez, second by
Mr. Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
Hey, just for clarification, Sandra, this is part of the beautification efforts around the mission, also to help with the drainage of water, since the mission really does not sit on any kind of foundation. And so this is just to make sure that we beautify the area, the historical areas that we have in the city.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Aye.
Mr. Bowling?
Aye.
Mr. Cox? And Ms. Rodriguez? Yes. Motion passes.
Thank you. Item 29, discussion and action on the official authorization to use the public right of way and build a perimeter wall and gates at the intersection of Nevada Road and Socorro Road, being this intersection a closed access owned by the city of Socorro. The planning and zoning department recommends approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, this is also part of the Socorro Mission property, where the priest is trying to make sure that the perimeter is secured. What happens is that at night you've got traders or just other traffic that wants to use that area right there. You see the ingress and the egress onto Nevada's Road, and so that's just a measure of safety.
So we're taking down the guardrails and putting up gates?
That's correct. Just a clarification. Can we do it, Mr. Attorney, can we do it through a resolution, or do you recommend to do a survey plan? Because the city of Socorro obviously will continue with the ownership of the right of way.
Sam, I'm not sure I understand the question.
Okay.
Do you need?
It's our property.
Yeah, this is the city's right of way. Okay, this is a street. For over 16 years, the city agreed to close this access within guardrails, but it differed because of the mission is having a lot of trouble, because of the drivers. In order to avoid the traffic light here, they are having traffic and finding the way to go into Socorro Road.
And this also includes 18-wheeler traffic, which the original intent of blocking Nevada's Road was to keep heavy traffic from vibrating the structure.
Right, okay.
So if the city of Socorro will be allowing the use of this as a permanent, with a permanent structure, which is the fence and wall, my recommendation, there are two ways. With a resolution, and we can create in-house the portion of land probably identified with the plan, identifying the section that is going to be used for the gate in the wall. Or we think that it's appropriate to create an official easement recorded in the county.
You need to plat, you need to record it,
Yes.
as a property interest? I don't think you need to record it because you already own it.
Absolutely.
But the only difference is I mean, what you're really doing is you're taking a public street, which is a public right of way, and you're closing it off, well, that doesn't mean it's not a public right of way, it could still be a pedestrian walkway, and you still own it. I don't think you need to record it, Sam?
Can we do it with a resolution?
I'm not even sure you need a resolution, but I don't think you need to record it.
Okay.
Right, let me, and the answer, I think you're okay to approve it, if council wishes to, I'm not presuming. Because you own the street, you're gonna close it off, you're gonna put a permanent gate in.
Yes.
Who's gonna have access to that gate, Mr. Chairman?
And the mission.
The mission, the priest will open and close it
Yes, sir.
when they need to let traffic through for funerals or whatever.
Yes, especially for probably vendors or special events.
And also the city will have a city.
Absolutely, the city will continue with the
We have to have a resolution.
And as long as the city retains, so the ultimate control for it, I think you're okay, that way you're not really conveying it to another private property.
And that road has been closed off now for more than a decade.
Yeah, but over 16 years. And this is part of my recommendation, with the understanding that the city of Socorro has the right to recuperate the access at any time that the city wishes to do so.
Right, because it's still a public record.
Yes, sir.
I think you're okay, I don't think you need to record anything, I think council's great to approve it. I will pay this, it's a little unusual, I will look at it after we're done here and make sure that there's not some
But
sort
it is a
of.
state structure and we're trying, state historical structure, we're trying to conserve.
And okay, I'll find out, and then I'll double check, if there's any questions about it, I will bring it back down.
Yes,
Okay.
To make Rodriguez, do we have a question?
What was that? I was asking, isn't there a law that says that once a street is opened for a year, you cannot close it down?
You can take public roads and close and convert them to public parkways, to public walking, pedestrian walkways. That's not common, but it's not unheard of. So I mean, the short answer to your question is no, but just because it's a public street doesn't mean it has to be a street forever. The character of it can never change. There are some restrictions about how you do it. Real street budget is what they did 16 years ago.
See, and it's kind of like, to me, I equate it to, and maybe it's not a correct comparison, but your gated communities, don't you have public roads in gated communities? No, it's not, or the access to like the utilities.
Yeah,
Those are done by easements.
yeah, but there's still public
So it's
roadways.
different.
They still have emergency access and things like access for emergency vehicles. That's it. I mean, look, this is an unusual situation. I think you're okay. I'll double check if there's anything sporting that's going on. But I think you guys
I think
No,
so.
yeah, if you agree, please.
All right, so we have one to approve by Mr. Rodriguez, did who have the second? Okay, okay, so, all right, let me get it straight. Who made the motion? Okay, motion made by Mr. Rodriguez, seconded by Mr. Rodriguez, with, I guess, research by staff to see, make sure that we're doing, this is correct. Yes?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Cox?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Rodriguez. Motion.
All right, thank you. Moving on to agenda item number 1, discussion and action. 30. Excuse me.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. Discussion and action to direct city manager to implement the evaluation and emergency plan. You see, I made it to take
It's okay.
It's okay. Yes, no, it's, I know how to read, I just cannot read the words on this page for some reason. Okay, here we go. discussion and action to direct city manager to implement an evacuation and emergency plan for all the city of Socorro's buildings.
Mr.
Did you, this was the
Mayor,
mayor?
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah.
Mr. Norton?
do we have a
You didn't-
presentation?
Do you have any people on this?
No.
Motion.
Do you have some?
Well, we're gonna be implemented, we already started doing the evacuation plan for all the units.
And it's pretty much standard for public buildings to have an evacuation.
Yeah, okay, so, you know, we'll,
Motion to delete?
yeah, motion to delete,
Okay.
and if the mayor wants to bring it back, then.
Right, it's,
Okay.
motion to leave by Mr. Rodriguez, made by, no, he said, okay.
I'm seconded.
Okay,
I'm seconded.
so officially, Ms. Rodriguez made the motion, it was seconded by Mr. Rodriguez to delete the sidewalk.
Okay, Mr. Rodriguez? Mr. Pauling? Mr. Pop? And Ms. Rodriguez. Any questions?
All right, going on to agenda item 31, I'm on the correct agenda. Discussion and action on completing negotiations with the Pasco County Water Improvement District Number 1 regarding reopening a portion of Mesa Drain for flood control and authorizing payment to the district of the amount of $28,579.70 and authorizing the city manager or his designee to document, what do I do, to documents necessary to finalize, to generate documents? I don't want to presume. To execute documents necessary to finalize an agreement. Is there a presentation, Mr. Cox, is this right?
Yes, it is, and, I gave a presentation the last time, just if I need to, do I need to give another presentation on it? No, I have this here, just looked out.
Do we, does council wish?
Mr. Bowman, did you miss you did miss the presentation, and you, Mr. President, both missed this presentation, so I really think you need to see it, so you understand this.
Well, I was out there and I looked over the situation.
How serious it
I
is.
like the idea very much. It's a real good idea and I think it would do a lot of good to people living there. But I don't agree with $28,000 because I think that property belongs to them. And why should we pay for cleaning it? It should be clean because those drainages are full of weeds. They create mosquitoes, they create skunks, they create all kinds of animals, snakes, and everything. And I feel that it's their obligation to clean them, not ours, to pay for them.
Mr. Rodriguez, question.
Mr. Discussion.
And the idea is,
Do we need a motion?
I think it's real good.
Well-
If they would just clean it and we could do the rest. As far as digging a hole and open it up. But,
I'm asking for a presentation. Mr. Norton, you went out there to this meeting because it came on Mr. Rodriguez's recommendation. We go out there ourselves, Mr. Rodriguez and yourself, go out there and meet with them. Could you explain, Mr. Bowden, why they're charging and what they've told us in regards to that aspect? Why we have to pay or why they're charging us?
The difference, the added difference of what you said, it's really already filled in, and they're talking, this is right at Paradise Park, just east of the basketball court, to dig that up all the way to where it connects to all the bushes that you're talking about. It's the connector pipe there. So it's more than just the weeds, it's literally dredging and creating a ponding area to allow a flow to hook back up to the drain.
Okay, so
It's a
then,
little bit,
Can you explain the $28,000 they're asking for?
that's what they figure it would cost them to do the work.
okay, so at this point, before the question has been called, I'll go ahead and entertain a motion to, on agenda item 31.
No, we already called questions, so that means discussion is there. We're gonna take a vote.
I make a motion to approve. You call for a question.
Can we have the vote, Judge?
Oh, call the question.
Okay, so then, Mr. Rodriguez called the question.
Do we have a
Do we have a second on the question?
You don't need one.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we
I
do.
looked at all of them.
I need a question. Yes. Because we're gonna vote on it.
Any motions to
And that's it.
Can we have a second?
second? Okay, Okay, so then,
Hold on, she wants to discuss it. She's seconding the question for the call for the question. You stop discussion.
Yeah, we're starting the
You
discussion.
want to discuss it?
I already saw the presentation, I don't know if you guys, I'm sorry, we all want to see the other presentation now, I already saw. it.
okay, so then, just for clarification, Mr. Rodriguez made the motion, call the question to cease discussion. You seconded to cease discussion as well? Is that your second stance? It's either yes or no.
Yes, it's
Okay.
fine.
Right, let's go ahead and call the question, call the vote.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Aye.
Mr. Bowles?
Aye.
Mr. Cox?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Davis? Motion
All right,
passes.
so then we go on to
Motion.
the motion. You have a motion, Mr. Conlon.
I have a motion. I'm making a motion that we go ahead and pay $28,000 and generate Mr. Northby to go ahead and meet with them so that we can get this flood problem taken care of, and help these people. We're talking about 7, 8 houses that are in flood water condition over there and subject to happening again. So my motion is to approve $28,797.
Do we have a second to Mr. Conlon's motion? Yes.
Now, we paid $28,000 this year, and you know, we should come up again. What are we gonna pay every year, $28,000?
Okay, no, it's not for the weeds, it's to dredge out the dirt, the field, or whatever. It's a base there, it's not weeds, you can't see anything. It's digging it out to create a ponding area and to hook it up to where the weeds are. In other words, we filled over the Paradise Park. It's actually to dredge it and open it back up so that water can hold there and drain.
It's a one-time thing,
I
it's
know
not
that.
Yes.
recurring cost.
So it's not, okay, to answer Mr. Bowles.
No, it's a recurring cost, we're gonna have to go.
It's
and
not,
meet.
2,000 yards of cubic excavation,
So there is no recurring cost.
where the drain was filled in the past. It would be the unfilling of the drain, or fill out.
But just for clarification, that's a one-time cost.
Now, if they clean up the weeds, where the water gonna run?
Down Mason.
Are they gonna clean it up?
Yes.
And then next year, what happens when the weeds come back?
If the weeds come back, it's their responsibility to clean it back out, and they've already said they will take care of that.
Why is it
That means-
their responsibility now?
This is a one-year deal.
I think we're mixing apples and oranges, just for clarification, that's coming on this side. We're looking at, opening it up, removing dirt versus taking out weeds. From what I understand, we're not taking out weeds.
No.
So we're just taking out fill that's there currently to allow water runoff to occur.
Aren't they supposed to pay for this anyway?
Look, we spoke to them, we even told them, if you're gonna have to do it 1 year, then just do it this one time, and they still want us to pay for it.
No, don't be making that stuff.
Perfectly, they didn't make that happen, tell us that.
No.
Gentlemen.
What they try to say is they have no responsibility to clear it out. It's their property, it's their prerogative to do it if they want to. If we're insisting that they clean the drains out, we've asked that it be done in May. They said that's the busiest part that they have, and said they will really try to do it if we would pay money and a license to do that. And this is to dredge and clean the weeds out. Now, this particular project is this dirt right here. To dredge this dirt all the way to where you see the weeds. So they're gonna dig all of this out
No.
and open a pipe
No, sir, they're just gonna open up, they're gonna make a pioneer right where you have your hand.
right here
And
and
then
right here.
Right here.
Right here and right here.
And then right
To
here,
connect to a pipe.
to connect to a pipe over here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There's no ditch there now, there's no ditch. You walk across level.
This is the weeds
That's
that,
the point. It's not cleaning out a ditch. There is-
yeah, but there's a pipe under here that they will dredge out here, connect to the pipe to run through here. That's what they figure cost of labor.
Okay, so I guess what I would ask council to take into consideration, is this for flood mitigation?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so then if we're actively trying to mitigate the flooding, this would be part of that
Correct.
activity.
And as far as the $28,000, so we're talking about, this would be a one-time expense, once they open this up, and we'll have access to it every year, so that the water that collects right there in the low line area will drain off into that canal, which is Mason Drain Canal, Mason Spur from the one on this side. This water collected there and it flooded out 6 or 7 of those houses right there in that corner of Levy and Sawyer. And I have a picture to show you, if you want to see those photos. It put those people in harm's way, okay? And all we're trying to do is alleviate. This is a proactive approach to try to preserve those people's homes that live in that area. They're taxpayers, they deserve to have the comfort. This man right here lived on the corner right here. He got on TV the other day on the news. This is right in that corner. He got on the news. He says, I'm scared every time the clouds gather because I'm afraid the water's going to come down. It's going to flood me out again. This canal will give us the ability to drain down Mesa Canal, and we'll never have to do that again. That's a one-time $28,000 expense.
We do have a motion on the table, last two comments.
Didn't one time they were supposed to do it on their own, and they said they weren't, without charging?
When?
Why are we supposed to pay for something that they have to do?
That's what I've been saying all along.
And then, final comment, Mr. Gold?
Is this just to move the dirt? $20,000?
And they would build a mining area, they would design a mining area on the west side of it, the road.
Now, how about the weeds in the drain? All this.
That's their responsibility.
Are they gonna clean it up? Because there's no sense in opening it up. And where the water gonna go? It's not gonna move.
The water's not going to canal.
I thought I just said that.
Exactly, you just told us that they said that it was up to them to clean it or not. So he's saying, no, yeah, they're gonna do it. If we can't even have mess a drain and they wanna charge us for it, what makes you think they're not gonna do the same thing on this area? That's what I'm trying to say.
Don't you feel like we have responsibilities? Don't you feel like we have responsibilities? I'm gonna second my motion.
I'm concerned that if it's moving dirt, we have the equipment on.
No, they won't give it, no.
They will not let us dredge into their property. They will not allow us to dig in their property.
All right,
Right.
so then, at this point, we have a motion made. Do we have a second?
You have a second, Mr. Muhammad? Vote. Will you second my motion?
Yes, that's like,
You second my motion?
Okay, so let's go ahead and take a vote.
get it over with.
Motion made by Mr. Cox. To approve, item number 31 with the second by Mr. Gold.
Okay. Mr. Rodriguez?
No.
Mr. Bowling?
Aye.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Lewis? No. Mr. Perez?
You know, I never been pro tem, and I actually. No, it's not about helping, I just want to make sure that we're doing it. Yes.
Motion passes.
So don't follow up on that, now that we passed it. Mr. Norfleet will be meeting with Mr. Reyes, and Mr. Reyes will be putting this, that we're willing to do this to his board, and he said there'd be no problems and no issues that he thought of, or that he could come up with, am I correct? As far as his board okaying it for us to do this. Okay. Am I
They
correct?
charge us anytime,
Who covered up?
every
Who
year.
covered it up?
We're not doing it.
They covered it up years ago on an agreement with the federal government, city support.
Right, I said, John, I think we're off, John, let's go ahead and get that. All right, let's go ahead to item number 32, discussion and action regarding Old Whipple Road, roadway project, funding mechanisms for same and participation by other governmental entities, including the Camino Real Regional Mobility Authority, the state of Texas, El Paso County, El Paso Community College, and the El Paso County Water Improvement District so then do I have a motion to move this?
Move, so move.
Motion made and second by motion made by Mr. Rodriguez, second by Ms. Rodriguez, to move this item into executive.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Aye.
Mr. Bowling?
Aye.
Mr. Pond?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Rodriguez. Motion passed.
All right, at this time, we can proceed into executive session.
Can I have a motion?
Motion to move into executive.
So move.
Motion made by Mr. Rodriguez, second by Ms. Rodriguez, is that correct?